Historically, Barbie has been a toy. It's all about children. But what they're finding is that their brand is losing cultural relevance with the adults who buy these toys because of the stereotypes that people believe are perpetuated by Barbies, because of concerns around self-image for girls. And what Barbie has done is they've really tackled that head on. And they've done so by really tapping into culture. So I think there's 3 steps. The first is that they've clearly gone and tried to understand what it is that potentially is going wrong with their brand today, but also the role that their brand could play in culture. And what they found is that the moms who are buying Barbies for the kids care about the future of their kids, care about the empowerment of their girls, care about how women see themselves in the world. And I think that's step 1, understanding what culture surrounds their consumer and their buyer. The second thing that they've done is created this magical intersection between what their brand can add to culture. So it's not just understanding culture that's interesting, but it's understanding what can my brand do to contribute to culture and to play meaningfully in that space. And I think through this idea of how play can empower children, they've created that intersection. And then they've created a beautiful piece of advertising which sort of uses secret cameras to expose, first of all, how little girls play, but second of all, how adults sort of react to that and what that means for us in culture. You know, if this finishes here for Barbie, I think that'll be an interesting blip on their sales radar, but perhaps not something that delivers sustainable growth. And what you see here is in a similar space, for example, Dove, who's been a champion of empowering women for many, many years, that's been a sustained positioning for them. And I think that's really important, is that consumers don't necessarily appreciate brands who just jump on board for sort of a short window in culture, but consumers do appreciate brands that speak to the heart of what they care about and speak about that over a long period of time. And it's that sustained commitment that I think will determine whether this is a big turning point for Barbie or whether it's just an interesting campaign. They've clearly gone out and tried to really understand what makes African youth tick. And what they've understood is this need for self-expression, sort of a more artistic vibe that's going on, and the fact that people want to break boundaries a little bit, they want to support the little guy, they want to express what is unique and magical about African culture. And they've not only created the beautiful advertising, the Made of Black work, but they've also gone out to really reach out and create partnerships that are meaningful with fashion designers, with artists, with all sorts of music people, hip-hop, all sorts of stuff within that culture in order to make it a meaningful campaign that isn't about a TV ad, but is really about how they curate content, how they support artists, how they play a meaningful role in really developing that culture. And that's something that will sort of leave a legacy. And I think that's what consumers are looking for, is how can you not only take a point of view on culture, but how can you actually contribute towards it to amplify cultural things that consumers really care about.